It would seem that it's only some Black lives that matter to Black Lives Matter. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Welcome to the channel. Now, if there's something that I've always maintained, I never hide my feeling when it comes to Black Lives Matter, is that I do not support both the movement as well as the organization. Now, some people would say, oh, the movement is righteous, the movement is good. But I always maintain that the reason why I don't support the movement is that it is more detrimental to Black people than people know. And today's story is an example, is a proper example of that. When I say Black Lives Matter is a detriment to Black people, the movement is a detriment to Black people, because when it comes to Black Lives Matter, only some Black lives matter, not all Black lives matter. Now, the majority of the Black lives that are being lost to other Black people, it doesn't matter. Even lost in many other ways, it doesn't matter. It is specifically the ones that are dying as a result of a white police officer shooting a Black person, or a white person killing a Black person. Those are the lives that matter. Those are the lives that can actually bring the cheddars, the dineros, and this is why those lives matter. Every other life doesn't matter. And one of the activists, a BLM activist, this time around from the UK, is actually finding this out the hard way. As Sasha Johnson, who was shot last year, a strong BLM activist who has her own party, I think taking the initiative party, it's specifically for Black people, was shot last year, and a case has sprung up against 4 people who have been alleged to have participated in that shooting or have performed that shooting. Now, the case has been thrown out because of uncircumstantial evidences, and we're going to get a little bit more into that so that you guys can have a bit of an idea of what happened. And the update is that the family now is also making a statement, which I will read later on this video. But before we get into all that, I want to quickly ask you guys to smash that like button down below as we get into the story, because it's massively important to this video. It does make me smile, and I'm really appreciative of it. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into this story, and don't forget to leave your own comments in the comment section below as well. Now, the case against the 4 men charged over the shooting of the Black Lives Matter activist Sasha Johnson has collapsed after prosecution announced it would not be offering any evidence against them. Johnson, a mother of 2, was shot in the head at the 30th birthday party in Peckham, South London, on the 23rd of May last year. Now, initially, people thought that because she's been getting a lot of threats, they said she's been getting a lot of threats, maybe death threats, as a result of some of the statements that she makes. They're quite inflammatory against white people. And so they said that she's been getting a lot of threats as a result of where she stands, because some of these pro-Black people are more anti-white than they are actually pro-Black, that this might have been the reason. But nope, they found out that it was because she was hanging out with a gang, and it seems like a rival gang came to attack that gang, and she got caught in the crossfire. This is something that has happened between the people that she claims to want to defend, which is Black people. Anyway, the court heard that Johnson remained in the hospital with catastrophic permanent damage in a serious but stable condition. Prince Dixon, 25, Troy Reed, 20, Cameron Derricks, 19, and Devontae Brown, 19, had denied conspiracy to murder, possession of a firearm, and ammunition with intent to endanger life. All 4 of them happen to be not white supremacists. And this woman always points fingers at white supremacists, that they're the biggest existential threat towards Black people. Statistically, this is highly false. So anyways, they were due to stand trial on the 7th of March, but an Old Bailey hearing on Tuesday, the prosecution announced the Crown would not be pursuing the case. Johnson, 28, is a founding member of the Taking the Initiative Party and came to prominence in 2020 as protests for racial justice sprang up across Britain. This protest, they all sprang up because of what happened to George Floyd, and they took advantage of it to actually bolster their own agenda and whatnot. And it did work for a time, and until a year later when, you know, she got shot in the head, unfortunately. Now, I would never pray for something evil like this to happen to anybody, and this is not the best way I want people to learn about their mistake, but you know, it is what it is. But my thoughts and prayers still goes out to her. She was struck by a single bullet just before 3 a.m. at a silent disco in the garden of the house in Peckham. Defendants, who appeared by a video link from Belmarsh High Security Prison, reacted with smiles and hugs, hugged each other as the prosecutor, Mark Haywood QC, announced their case was being dropped after a review. So generally what has happened, and let me just summarize the rest of the story, is that it seems like I said before, it was between a rival gang. The person she's dating, the younger members of the family had an issue with these boys, is what they're saying. And from the investigations, all they could find was interaction between the two gangs. That's the four boys, the defendants, and the two younger members of the family who are actually 18-year-olds. And so maybe the attack was for them, but she got caught in it. But there's no circumstantial evidence. The only evidence they could have is people actually testifying. But guess what's happening? Nobody is testifying. And the party was an all-black party in it. Like, most of them were blacks, or maybe all of them were blacks. But, these people don't want you talking about black on black crime. They don't want you to expose anything of as such. Matter of fact, they would frown on you when you talk about it. They would brand you all sorts of names. They will say you are some kind of a C word. You're an Uncle Tom. You're, a raccoon, whatever. They've called me that too on my channel. I mean, people have left those kind of comments on my channel, but it doesn't matter. They call you all sorts of things because they think that you're a snitch. You are the ones that are like making black people look bad. But the reality of it is that most of the people that are talking about this are talking about it because it's a serious issue in the black community that needs to be tackled. You can't just look the other way when it's a black on black crime and make like those lives don't matter. And this is why I don't support Black Lives Matter in any shape or form, because look at what's happening to this lady. None of them are coming out to actually speak on behalf of this person or actually testify for this person, which has led to the mother and the sister to actually give a statement. Her mother, Ellie Darling, and sister, Shakira Williams, urged those at the party to come forward with any evidence they may have. She is strong. In a quote, she said she is strong. She is a fighter, and she will come and tell the story of who did this to her, they said. Quote, once again, one of the only things that kept us going is our faith, she said, said Williams. We were hurt, but we had to pull ourselves together because breaking now is not it. And we learned that it is not over. This is a bump on the road. We will get justice, and Sasha will come and let us get justice. So they are hoping, and I'm also praying for them, that Sasha comes out of this and Sasha maybe can identify the people that did this. Maybe she can give a testimony, who knows. But as it were right now, none of these people are telling you anything. None of these people are supporting them. The people that so-called Sasha is fighting for, the so-called people that Sasha is fighting for, none of them are stepping out to defend her. Why? Because the crime was committed by a black person, and they've been encouraged not to speak out, because if they do, they would be called snitches, Uncle Toms, and whatever name in the book. So as you can see, Black Lives Matter is more detrimental to black lives themselves. I've said this time and time again, ever since, and this is on record, ever since the George Floyd incident, the crime in the inner cities in the US has increased drastically. Murder rate went up by over 30% in many of these cities like Minneapolis or south side of Chicago and all these other cities all over. And who's suffering for it? Black people themselves. Who's snitching? Nobody. They're the only ones suffering for it. And at the end of the day, you will get some people saying that, oh, white people are still responsible for this because they've seen incidences where white police officers turn the other way. Why wouldn't they turn the other way? You've demonized them for trying to save you. Remember, Ma'Khia Bryant's situation, when a police officer saved a black woman from another black woman, he got criticized by liberals, black people, and many of these people from the hood who support this woke narrative that police are out there hunting us and whatnot. So here you have it. And this is the reason why I don't support Black Lives Matter personally. Anyways, you guys, what say you? Do you think that Black Lives Matter is a good movement? Do you think that it is helpful to the black community? Or do you think, given this case, this is not looking good for black people? And it's unfortunate that this is the way that this young lady finds out that, what she's fighting for might not be the right cause. And maybe there needs to be a different course of action to actually help us black people, which would be a story that we should discuss another day. But yeah. That's it pretty much from me. Let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, if you can just do me the favor of hitting that like button down below, smash that button and all the other icons for me, it will be massively, massively appreciated. Now I'm going to be taking my leave. I hope you guys take care of yourself. Look after yourself out there. Stay blessed. Peace. And Saya's out of here. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye now.